Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? Just nod if you can hear me. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Peter. Thank you very much. Just going to give people a couple of minutes just to arrive. We don't have any guest speakers today, folks. So if anybody feels an urgent need to talk about their organisation or any projects, otherwise you'll just have to listen to me, I'm afraid, because I've always got loads to say. So I'll have to introduce myself because I think there are some people on here that I've not met or have not seen me before. I'm Tracy Noon, just to fill time while people are coming in. I'm Tracy Noon. I'm Operations Manager at People of Pendle and Rosendale Council for Voluntary Service. I've been off for the last 4 months, so you haven't seen me. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in October last year, and I've been off since then. But NHS are brilliant. I won't have a word said against them because I've had biopsies, MRIs, an operation, radiotherapy, and I'm here and I'm still swinging. So hooray! No, and I'm feeling well. Hiya, Jill. Are you okay?
Hi, yeah, I'm good, thank you. It's nice to see you, Tracy.
Thank you. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see everyone, to be honest. I've not seen anyone for 4 months. Been to some really dark places, but I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. I'm ready to. I'll get signed off. Hopefully, I get signed off in another couple of weeks. So hopefully, but I would urge everyone, including men, to check themselves. If you see anything weird, go to your doctors. Mine wasn't picked up on a mammogram. I picked it up and I insisted, and they ended up doing an ultrasound because it wasn't picked up. Then they were tiny, I had tiny lumps, so I was really lucky. So I urge everyone to check themselves. So anyway, enough about me. Shut up, Trace. So I've just been saying, Jill, we've not got any guest speakers today. So if anybody's got any burning issues they want to talk about, we've got guest speakers lining up now. Now I'm back. They've all found out and they want to come and talk to us. So and I've got a meeting with Catherine and Kim next week about People of Pendle. So I'm not sure whether, because things have changed for Catherine and Kim. They're not here today. They send their apologies. They're not just as available as they once were. So it might be, there you go, Trace, over to you. You know, I've got a feeling that that's going to happen. So if it does, we'll carry on regardless, because they are quite useful at these meetings. So, well, so people tell me. Hi, Neil. Nice to see you. I haven't seen anybody for a while.
Hello, nice to see you as well. I'm afraid I have no video, so you can't see me. I don't know why. That's fine.
How do we know it's really you, Neil?
You'll never know. My dulcet tones, they must be recognisable by now. I'm getting a Burnley accent, slowly but surely. So
you are. It's becoming more Burnley by the second, isn't it, Neil?
Aye.
Tracy, when you meet with Catherine and Kim, then I mean, I'd like to be involved in that chat as well, if possible, just to look at the health and wellbeing partnership, because we are looking at the health and wellbeing partnership and how we can sort of improve links with this group and community voices and things. So it'd be good to be involved as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they want to talk to me about. So once I find out what they want to talk to me about, Jill, of course, I'll keep you informed. Me and you can have a catch up at some point.
That'd be helpful.
Brill.
Thank you, Tracy.
Brill. So has anybody got anything burning that they want to talk about? Because it's like I said, you'll just have to listen to me. Otherwise, Jacqueline.
Hello. Glad you're back.
Thank you.
I work for Newground, which is part of Together Housing. We're just and I work on the Greener Together project, which is more about energy, health and things, energy advice, etc. I've also got some funding for people who are on prepayment meters if they need some vouchers. So that's the that's me in a nutshell. However, we've moved back into Shackleton Hall, and we get open to the public on the 8th of May, and then on the, I think it's the 8th, but don't quote me on this, we're inviting people that are our partners. We're inviting you, Tracy, to our grand opening with the Lord Mayor, etc. So, I know, with cakes and butties, I believe. So what's not to like? So yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there as a bit of something good that's going to happen.
So, Jacqueline, in terms of the hub at Shackleton Hall,
Yeah.
what's going to be in that?
So it's going to be new ground,
housing?
not together housing.
Right.
So what's happened in the past is together housing. It is to together housing where people come. They usually call it the council house, where the council officers are next door. But yeah, they come with housing issues, etc. So we do, like I say, we deal with energy. We have and we have people who work with the unemployed and unemployability. That will work from here, and we'll deliver workshops in here and things. But that's what it's going to be, as opposed to what it was in the past.
Yeah. Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
Great stuff. Thank you, Jacqueline. Peter, you want to introduce yourself and talk about your project?
Yeah, I'm getting to know one or two people here. So I recognise Gemma. So I'm Peter Lumsden, part of the Methodist Church. I'm also treasurer of the Lancashire Forum of Faiths, and I'm a trustee of Building Bridges Burnley. And I jokingly say I'm keeping the F in the VCFSE. And just before Christmas, got a small grant from the ICB through their small groups project, and to do piece of mapping in Pendle, mapping the sort of social action that churches and mosques are engaged in the areas of food, mental health, and family support. So we're well on with that, and we've already brought some church leaders and some civic leaders together to share that. We've got an interactive map that sits exactly on the map showing the Family Hub networks. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that piece of work. It's the sort of analogy I make is, we all know there's a big jigsaw there, isn't there? With lots and lots of pieces. We could discuss how many pieces there are in the jigsaw. Some of them are the right way up, so we can see what they are, but a lot of them are the wrong way up. So trying to help turn those pieces the right way up and then join them together as well. So that work will never end, but we made the start. I'm doing it in Pendle, and yeah, I hope we can do it in other parts of the county as well. But Pendle's the first where we've tried this, working with an organisation called the Gather Movement, who generated these questionnaires, which are very detailed and are based on evidence. And the progress is encouraging, and some of those connections are also new connections. So sharing of information that is there, but neither the different sectors don't still. There's always much more to do in connecting people and sharing information, and most crucially, building relationships. So it's the first time for me to be on this People of Pendle group, which is great. And I think Pendle is a fantastic place. I live just outside Worley, so I'm not that local. I did live 25 years in Preston, so I'm gradually moving east. So thanks for that opportunity, Tracy.
Thanks, Peter. I think the purpose of these meetings are to kind of do what you've just done, just kind of give an overview or talk about any particular project or whatever you want to talk about, and then make those links and connections and build those relationships kind of outside these meetings. These are kind of quick and snappy, these meetings. So we won't be going too in depth into things. I'll just go along my screen just as it looks on my screen for now, because sometimes it changes. And if you've got nothing to say, that's fine. But if you'd just like to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your organisation, just for Peter's benefit as well, and anybody else that's new, it might be quite useful. Oh, we've got Neil. We've got a picture of Neil. Hello. So David Marshall, you're next on my screen. If you'd like to introduce yourself and say a little bit about your project.
Hi Tracy, glad to see that you're sort of feeling a little bit better. Yeah, I'm Dave Marshall. I work for Active Lancashire. I'm project lead for Pendle, yes, sub in Nelson. And we support 16 to 24-year-olds around wellbeing, employability and training. We've got a couple of things coming up. The big one that we've got coming up on 15th of May, we've got our 3-year celebration. So we're going to be celebrating 3 years of all that fantastic work that we provided to over young people in Pendle. So yeah, what I'll do is that if anybody wants to join that, I'll pop the invitation into the chat. And it's just a quick sort of sign on, just so we know how many people want to attend the event. But it's been quite popular at the minute. We've got a speech. The mayor's going to do a bit of a speech. Our CEO is going to do a little bit of a speech. I'm going to do a speech, and we've got Claire from PAC that's going to be obviously one of our main delivery partners that's going to be doing a little bit of a speech as well. So yeah, it's just a good opportunity to get together and share all that good work that's been happening really. So I'll pop that in chat. Also, we've got a teaching assistant and childcare course coming up on Thursday, 2nd of May. It is just an intro session. It's 1:30 till 3:30 and it's for 19 plus. So if you know any young people that would be interested in that, yeah, feel free to send them along. But yeah, that's me really.
Fab. Thanks, David. Thank you for that. So 15th of May, get it in your diaries. Jill.
Hi everybody, and yeah, likewise Tracy, it's really great to see you back, and yeah, I'm looking forward to working with you again. Yeah, so yeah, just a couple of things from me. First of all, hello again, Peter, and I know that we have agreed to meet up just to discuss the work that you've been doing and how that could potentially link into the Household Support Fund. So just to inform people that the Household Support Fund's been extended for another 6 months. So that's basically giving support to our vulnerable households. So the way that it's going to be distributed in Pendle is going to be similar to our previous schemes. So the about half of it is going to be allocated as direct payments for those on council tax support. It's going to target pensioners on council tax support. Then about a third of the funding is going to go to our community food organisation, so they can support households with food and essential items. And then there's also a pot of funding that's being allocated to Citizens Advice for an application scheme. So basically, people can, if they're in financial hardship, they can apply to Citizens Advice to gain financial support for energy, for utility bills, for essential items and for food and that sort of thing. We're also looking at setting up a crisis fund. So this will be new for Pendle because we've not done this before with our household support fund previously. But basically a crisis fund whereby partner organisations refer into the scheme. So it's not like the application scheme, it's a referral scheme only. Whereby partners who are working with vulnerable individuals and vulnerable households can refer directly for support. So it can be for things such as white goods, essential home items, or transport for medical appointments, for example, for things that aren't necessarily covered through the application scheme or the other schemes that are available through household support. So that's what we're proposing for household support. It's still got to go through our executive, so they've still got to approve our scheme, but we're hoping that it's just a case of rubber stamping it and giving us the green light. So it'll be June when our scheme launches. So as I said, Peter, it'd be helpful to have a conversation with you before then, just to look at the food organisations and see whether there's any scope to link into the mapping work that you've done, if there's any additional potential providers for us there. Then I also wanted to just inform people about the long-term town plan for Nelson. So I don't know if people have been are aware of this, but basically Nelson, as a follow-up to the town deal, has been allocated a further 20 million over 10 years as part of the government's long-term town plan. So this basically builds on the work that's been done around the town deal, but there is more of a focus on community development and community engagement with the town deal plan, and government's really, really keen that we're able to demonstrate this approach. So as part of that, we're setting up a steering group. The steering group is different and separate to the existing town deal steering group, although obviously there's some duplication with membership, but with that there's a chair in place now. The chair's Claire Bennett from PAC, so she's chairing the long-term town plan. So yeah, moves for a foot now to sort of put together the investment plan and to really work up the long-term town plan for Nelson. But no doubt a lot of you will be involved in those discussions going forward anyway, through the various community engagement and community activity that's going to be happening around that. I think that's, then there's also the community hub that I just wanted to inform people about. So again, this is another initiative that we're looking at that's basically being instigated by a number of community organisations approaching the council saying that they're in need of accommodation in Nelson. So it kind of feels that there's a demand for accommodation space in Nelson, and this idea of organisations and services being co-located together to develop to basically have like a coordinated one-stop shop almost for Nelson. So I don't know if people have been to the downtown community hub in Burnley, but that's a really good example of a community hub, and I'd recommend people go visit there. But there they've got it's a space that co-locates a number of different community voluntary organisations, and within that space they've got a community grocery, they've got advice, they've got a shop, they've got a community cafe, a large kitchen area where they do community cooking and that sort of thing, and then a range of different organisations deliver outreach from there. So they've got citizens advice based there. Tracy, I know the social prescribers are based there as well, aren't they? They've got involvement in there. Yeah. So that's the type of model that we're looking at for Nelson, to see whether there's scope to do anything like that. But it's just a case of, in Burnley they had the premises and they started with the premises and then worked their way around that. In Pendle, in Nelson, it's the opposite for us. We've got the organisations and the groups that are raring to go, but we haven't got a suitable venue. So we're just sort of in the process of looking at potential options, the sort of spaces that could be made available in Nelson, with a view to having a community hub in future. I think it is medium long-term plan. It's not going to happen overnight, so we're probably looking about 18 months, 2 years as a minimum, I'd imagine, by the time everything's in place. Yeah, but just to let people know that is in development, and if people are interested in being involved in that and are keen to be part of the community hub, if they just let me know, and then we can ensure that you're included in discussions going forward. Thank you.
Fab. It'll be brilliant, Jill.
Yeah.
And it does take time. I mean, it took down a long time to get going.
Yeah.
And they're only just coming to fruition now.
Yeah.
And they started thinking about it easily 2.5 years ago, something like that, not more.
Yeah.
So it does take time to get things right. So but I think we're involved, aren't we? I think Christine's involved. Yeah. Fab. Thanks, Jill.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I'll just say Catherine Murphy has said her mic isn't working, so she's put something in the chat, and she said she's from Carers Link Lancashire, and they support unpaid carers aged 18 plus in Pendle. They're caring for loved ones, neighbours, friends, etc. They have a charity shop where they hold events on Market Street in Cone. So Catherine's contact details will be on the membership list that you'll get, or you've already got, from Lorna. So just for Peter's benefit, we do send that out every month, Peter. So it's updated and then it's sent out again. So you'll have updated, up-to-date contact details, providing people update us, of course. So Jacqueline, I know you've just spoken, but if you'd like to speak again, you're more than welcome to. If not, that's fine too.
I love speaking. It's
you and me both.
I just do. So it's going to be a new phenomenon as being in Shackleton Hall, because all our funding is based in Pendle. So we're on BB8, BB9 and BB18 postcodes. We deliver energy advice, and that energy advice is free to anybody. They get a goodie bag that's worth a few bob as well, which is quite nice. And I think a bit of the unique part of it is the fact that if you've got a job and you're well off, but struggling with your energy or struggling with paying your bills, then we're the people to contact. So everyone that's on the screen now, if you have them postcodes, I've been to see David Marshall once too. So again, just because it's not based on income, it's based on need, because sometimes people are unaware of just making little changes can change the whole impact of your bills. So that's what we do. As well as us, there'll be the employability team. So I do have to talk about them because that's what my boss will say when I get off here. So they'll be helping people who are unemployed, but there's all sort of pre sort of ambles that go with that. But obviously I'm more interested in greener together. So if anyone's got any people that they'd like to refer, Katie often does. And so does Farah, who we haven't got a picture of. So please do, because there's still lots of people out there that are struggling along, don't want to ask for help, especially the elderly. And again, we've got some money in the bank for some prepayment meters, people to give them vouchers. So that will really help. They can get up to about £200 in vouchers. So if they've got anybody who's got a prepayment meter struggling with the bills, then please give me a shout.
Fab. Thank you, Jacqueline. Martin, you're looking very thoughtful there. Wake up.
It's been a while since I've been on People of Pendle. Apologies for missing the past few. We've got a lot going on at the leisure box in Briarfield, for those of you that are aware of it and that know it. We've just done a bit of a soft launch around a health hub idea. So we've got quite a lot of sessions running now from the leisure box, including Parkinson's, cancer rehabs, over 50s, active sessions. There's pickleball going on down here. The majority of you will have heard of pickleball and will know what pickleball is. It's a growing phenomenon. We've got our NHS services. I'll explain pickleball, Jacqueline, towards the end of the chat. But it's really good, fun, active, like a tennis session played in twos. But yeah, I'll explain that at the end. Really, really good game taking off. We've got our NHS services using it for mindfulness sessions. We've got pain management booked in now down at the leisure box. The NHS service are using our space for that as well. So it's a great building. There's still plenty of slots available sort of during the week for people to come in and get involved with us. And again, listening to Jill earlier, the whole idea of having a one-stop shop for people to come in, where it's a non-clinical, safe environment for people to sort of come into is massively beneficial. We're also running our mental health football sessions from here. We have a little bit of a chat group afterwards as well that we partner up with the NHS LSCFT community mental health team. So it's growing, but what we need to realise is at Burnley Football Club is that people won't always come to us. We sometimes have to go to people. So it's great for us to have the leisure box, have the hub. It's great for us to have our Burnley offer, which is really solid now. We've got a lot of stuff going on around Burnley, including the events and stuff that we do down at downtown, which is a great facility. But what we need to sort of realise is that people won't always come to us. We need to go to people, and especially in Pendle, I think we need to up our game. We need to bigger our offer. But it's not us coming in and taking over. It's not us coming in and standing on anybody else's toes. It's working together with people and helping people sort of grow their, areas of expertise. Because again, we're Burnley Football Club. We're not the experts, in everything. Although we do know quite a lot about certain things. But working together for us is massively important. And there's a lot of people in this group that have been to our sessions. So Katie's been over to our Burnley session and offered Christians Against Poverty. Neil's been in as part of the sort of community lottery fund, or will come in at some point soon, hopefully, and have a look at us and see what we're getting up to. But we do work really, really well collaboratively with everyone. And again, it's not about us; it's about the people who we're working with and serving. So yeah, if you know, our Parkinson's group's growing, it's growing slowly. We're working with people on a Monday morning, 11 till 12, just for an hour. And it's a social group for people living with Parkinson's. We have really good biscuits, farmhouse biscuits. And I always say that because it's always a pull and a draw. We have plenty of tea and coffee as well, which again pulls people in. Even if your session's rubbish, which it isn't, they will come for the tea and the coffee and the really good biscuits. So we have a really good social. We have the moans and groans about Parkinson's and how it affects people and what it does to people. But off the back of it, we always do an exercise session, which is usually seated. And the growth, you know, in the group's been really big. We've seen a massive impact in the exercise sessions and how they've developed from when they first came in sort of September, not very mobile and not moving around as freely, to now where we're sort of 6 months in and you know, people are really seeing a benefit of that, and we're sending them home with stuff to do as well, which is good, because when they're sat there putting the kettle on having a brew, guess what? You can do exercises. No, there's no stopping us while the kettle's on to sort of, you know, do some exercises stood up or seated. So yeah, it's the Parkinson's group and the cancer group Monday afternoon really that I'm sort of promoting today. But pickleball, Jacqueline, is like a paddle board, like tennis game that you play over a net. And so they play another type of it in a glass cage, and that's getting quite big at the minute. We don't really have space for a glass cage down at the leisure box currently, but if we do find some space, we definitely will be looking at getting involved with it, because if it's keeping people fit and active and healthy and enjoying doing what they're doing, then it's definitely worth us looking into. And again, we're really good at listening to what's going on around and trying to serve the community in that way as well. I feel that that's important. It's all right as having an idea and going setting it up, but is it already running in our area? Is there somebody doing it, you know, already? Is there a need for it? And if there isn't, then, you know, we try and work together with people. And if there is, then we know where to signpost people. So yeah, that's Burnley FC in the community, the leisure box and health hub offer.
Thanks, Martin. There were a lot of information there. Oh, you
I'm
got all
sorry.
that, folks?
I'm sorry, it's been a while since I've been on. I usually drip feed information, but if anybody needs any more information, then please just send me an email. And I think quite a few people do have my contact number. You can just ring me. But thank you for that.
No worries. Thanks, Martin. Anybody, by the way, that's got any information, any posters, leaflets or anything, send them to our Lorna. We'll get them out there. They also go into our info share that goes out to 1,000 groups every week. So, so without further ado, Gemma.
Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm Gemma Waterhouse, Neighbourhood and Communities Team Manager for Children and Family Wellbeing Service. So I've been leading on the new Family Hubs model across Pendle. So if any of you aren't aware of the new Family Hubs, we've got 3 in Pendle. So we've now launched one in Briarfield, we've got one in Nelson, we've also got one in Colne. So that's very much that we've all been discussing around having a one-stop shop, but it's for families, with the ultimate aim of families and the children and young people and the adults. So just to give you a little bit of an update as to anything new and upcoming from the Colne Family Hub, we've now got a CAB every Thursday morning for drop-in appointments. I think that's been really missed by the Colne community. It was something that we had prior to COVID, but then it kind of got lost. So they're back in the building now every Thursday morning for drop-in. We're also going to be registering births and deaths in Colne Family Hub. That's going to be starting in the middle of May, and that's going to be on a Monday and a Friday. And our Nelson Family Hub, which I'll send this all out as well if that's okay. I'll send you the What's On guide. We've now got a support in place for children that needing support with admissions to schools. If we've got a family that are new to area, they can bob along to the Nelson Family Hub for support around school places as well. Our What's On's updated on a regular basis, but I'll send the most recent one out to you if that's okay, Lorna, for you to disseminate to everybody. Lovely, thank you.
Thanks, Gemma. Yeah, everybody send information to our Lorna. She's not else better to do. Keeps her busy and off the streets. Neil, you're next on my list.
Hi everyone, I'm Neil. I'm the funding officer in the Lancashire team at the National Lottery Community Fund. So I manage around about 40 of the fund's larger reaching communities and partnership grants in Pendle, Burnley, Hyndburn, Rosendale, 1 or 2 further afield. I'm happy, I think, if you want next time, Tracy, to give an update on what the fund has awarded last financial year. I can't actually do it now because assuming we're not in another election, I won't be allowed to tell you what we've been spending if we're in another pre-election period. But assuming that the Parliament isn't dissolved next week or whatever, I can give an update next month's session if you want on what has been spent in Pendle and how we might increase that if possible, and lessons to be learned and stuff like that. I think people know I'm pretty available, and my details are usually well circulated. They're in my emails in the pack that Tracy mentioned. So if anyone wants to chat with me, I try and get out and about as much as possible. I hope everyone basically knows that the fund funds various charitable community activities across of various kinds. I think CBS has a Meet the Funder event tentatively scheduled. I don't think it's gone out officially for Friday the 17th of May at Ghana, and I'm happy to do other things in person and online similarly if folk from Pendle can't get to that. Cheers.
Yeah, the poster's going out. If it hasn't gone out, it's going out this week. And there'll be a QR code on there. I don't know what a QR code is. I'm sounding really knowledgeable. I have no idea what it is. But it's like some scribble at the bottom of the poster that apparently you can book on through that. Who knew? Oh, there we go. There we go. It has gone out. So Katie's showing us it has gone out.
You can't book on it just yet, though. I was emailing somebody, Shauna. And yeah, she said that the booking hasn't gone out just yet, but you will be able to book onto it.
It's just flashed up in the corner of my screen that our communications team have just put the QR code on. Okay. It'll be coming out again. It'll be coming out again probably today, to be honest, to book on. So just a little bit about that funding fair that Neil mentioned. I'll clearly be the star of the show. That goes without saying. Neil's laughing. It goes without saying, but there'll be other funders there. So I'll be talking about our funding streams, some of our projects, and how to apply and what support that we can offer. There will be other funders there. The lovely Neil will be there. He also will be starring. We've got 2 stars of this show. There will be Lancashire Environmental Fund will be there. I'm just trying to do this off the top of my head. Katie, have you got the poster in front of you? What does it say?
So it's Friday the 17th May, 10 to 1 p.m. Community Fund, Crowdfund Lancashire. Lancashire Environmental Fund?
Yeah, it's Crowdfund Lancashire that I've forgotten. So you'll hear about the funding streams that we've got and how to apply and what support that we can offer and what support we can offer with other funding streams as well, such as National Lottery, such as Lancashire Environmental Fund and Crowdfund Lancashire as well as hearing all about our wonderful projects, etc. So yeah, we don't have any fancy biscuits, unfortunately. However, we have a community cafe on that morning where you can get a fabulous either egg sandwich, bacon sandwich, or sausage sandwich for about £1.50. If you wanted it. It's just a donation that we ask for. So we don't have fancy biscuits, but we have bacon butties, Martin. So anybody's welcome. Just while I'm on, I haven't forgotten about we will hopefully have RCB funding opening again, which used to be the old clinical commissioning group funding, which is for small groups. So small groups can apply for up to £5,000 to deliver projects in the community. Everything's health related, so I've stopped saying it's got to be health related because everything is. Whether you're out walking or whether you're doing some talking therapies or whether you're doing some arts and crafts, it all pays into that health stuff. So we have Eric Wright funding that's still open. That's open all the time. Eric Wright are really good. They trust us to kind of put things out there in the community. And there's been some really good projects, particularly across Burnley and Pendle for Eric Wright funding. Our community cards are always after more volunteer drivers. So if you know of anybody, please do ask them to get in touch with us. They can do as many hours or days or weeks or whatever that they want to do, and they can do whatever area they want as well. We have a particular driver that just does fence. He doesn't do anywhere else. He just does his neighbours in fence. He's 87, mind you, and he's just brilliant. Some of our drivers are just excellent. The volunteering for Health and Community Hub at Ghana is holding forums, not just at Ghana. I think they've had one in Pendle already. I think they might have had one in Colne. Neil's nodding at me. We had one in. We've got one today, actually, this afternoon in Ghana. I think there's either been one or there's going to be one very soon in Rosendale. So, but look out for those, look out for that information, because they do offer some really useful information, not just about supporting your volunteers. Our group support team will be there as well. So if your group needs some support around funding or just a general moan, because sometimes things can get a bit much, particularly if you're a really small group, you know, you need somebody's shoulder to kind of lean on, and somebody that understands, and our team do, they really do. So I think that's it from me. So Katie, I'll shut up now.
Okay, I just was down at Ghana actually. I went for the first hour and then came here, so I want to try and be in as many places as possible in one go. Just to say that we've now taken on another member of staff, so we've gone back. There were 3 of us, and then John Graver retired, but is staying on as community links. But now we've employed somebody else, a lad called Anthony, who's absolutely brilliant. He's just finished his training, so he's now seeing clients, and I think he took 7 new clients on in the first 2 weeks of booking in. But it just means we've got a bit more capacity. It means that we're not fully booked all the time, which is absolutely fantastic. So if you phone up now, you'll get seen in June, which is much better than not being seen for 3 months or longer. We've just finished doing life skills in Colne. Well, we've got one left of doing life skills in Colne. We ran it as a mini pilot. That is the 8-week course looking at you know, how do you create a budget, and then how do you live on that budget? How do you go shopping on a budget? You know, meal planning, writing a shopping list when you go out. We looked at things around electricity use and stuff like that. And actually, Jackie, it's really good to have you back. I'm going to send you a message about seeing if you could come along and deliver that with the next group. But we're going to run the next one at Pendle Food for All with Lynn Mitchell and the group there. I'll answer your question in a second, Peter. I've just seen it come up. I'm going to run it from Pendle Food for All. She felt there was a real need there. So we're running that starting on Wednesday, the 15th of May from 12 till 2:30. But we're booking through that through Pendle Food for All. So they're doing a lot of the referring in. Other people can come along as well. We'll have lunch together to start, and then we'll run the sessions there. And we do a week where we do actually do some cooking together as well, and it's been a really lovely group. We've had a lot of people on the group that have been through recovery or well, in recovery at the moment, and I think it's been quite nice to do something else other than focusing on recovery, but as a group. So we're doing that. The community grocery in Burnley, we've now got a drop in there, which is the first one was there last Thursday, and that's going to be running monthly, and that information's all on their website as well. And we're up at community grocery in Colne as well, and still at St Philip's Centre. We're also at the job centre in Burnley, and we were doing Valley Street, but it just wasn't working, so we're going to have another look at that. And we're also now in Padiham as well at the food bank there once a month. So we're just trying to get out to as many people as possible. We're doing a lot of benefits checks with people as well. We have a benefits calculator, and we're supporting people and referring to us. And we continue as well. If you're working with anyone, you know anyone that you think could benefit from our help, I've been out with a lot of social prescribers to meet people in their homes, one-to-one, because like us all, it's nerve-wracking to meet people. So if you've been introduced, you're much more likely to refer in. Peter, we all work from home, but we cover Burnley, Nelson and Colne, so it's done similar to Jackie. We do go by postcodes, so we cover all of Burnley, Fence along there, all of Nelson, Barrowford, Trawden, And then there is another debt centre in Barnoldswick. The way that CAP works is you work from your local church. So my church base is one in Padiham, although I live in Colne, and that's how it works. And we work with people of all faiths and none. Although we're Christians Against Poverty, you don't have to be a Christian for us to work with you. And we do home visits. That's the big thing that we do is we go and see people in their homes. And we take befrienders with us who are volunteers that come on the visits with us.
Katie, you're on my list of organisations for the expression of interest for the Household Support Fund, because it would be really
Brilliant.
great to have that incorporated into this round of programmes. Yeah.
Thank you, Jill.
Also, Katie, I'll send you details of our buildings manager. We might be able to accommodate you at Ghana Community Centre rather than Valley Street, where there's a footfall there at Ghana Community Centre with the community cafe on Wednesdays and Fridays. So it might be worth a conversation.
No, that might work. So I was just hearing about all the stuff that's going on there, and it sounded really, really positive. And just say I've applied for the Prosperity Fund.
Yeah.
And I've also, Neil, I've applied to the Lottery Community Fund as well. So I'm just getting myself out there. I only work 3 days a week, but you've got to try and get in as many places as you can, don't you? Thank you. And if you ever have any questions or you're ever not sure of something, please don't hesitate to contact me. And I'm happy to talk with people and meet with people. And yeah, just do what we can.
Thanks, Katie. Thank you. Joanne, you're next on my screen. We can just see your eyes. Oh, there we go. You've got full face.
I'm like a little meerkat. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry I joined late. I was busy typing away and then I was like, it's really only a quick one, really. We had suspended our referrals because we were just inundated with them. And it was just really to say we've reopened our referral pathway for anybody that would like to refer in for one-to-one support. That's really it in a nutshell for us today, the big one.
Fab. Thanks, Joanne. Joanne's from New Era, everyone.
Sorry.
It's all right, Joanne. There's just some Peter particularly is new, so we're trying to behave ourselves and say where we're from rather than just assuming everybody knows us. Thanks, Joanne. Thank you. Farah, have you got anything to update? I'm not sure whether Farah's got a microphone or not. If she doesn't answer me. Farah's one of our community connect. Aha!
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, there's no updates on my side. Just normal, just dealing with clients and stuff. We have got a lot of clients that have fuel and food poverty, which I am referring into with Jackie and trying to meet up and doing joint visits. Other than that, no, not much to update.
Thanks, Farah. Farah's one of our community connectors who works over in Pendle West. But what Farah was saying then about clients, coming with various issues and that you're getting a glut of clients. If any of you are getting a glut of people coming and asking for very, food poverty, fuel poverty, please do bring it to this meeting, because Jill and I can take it to the Health and Wellbeing Partnership for Pendle. And if there's trends or whatever, we can direct, particularly RCB funding, we could direct RCB funding to tackle or try and tackle some of this stuff. So please do bring it, Joanne, if you've got families that are being referred in, and there's we all know about the food poverty, we all know about the fuel poverty, housing particularly in Pendle is a major thing. If there's any health related stuff, it's all health related, because if you're having a financial crisis, it can affect your mental well-being, it can affect how you're eating, and so it can affect your physical well-being as well. So that would just that. So have you anything to add, Jill? I feel like I've talked everybody's ear off this afternoon.
I don't think so. I mean, I think something that the partnership's mindful of, and something that everyone else will be mindful of, is just the recent announcement of Pendle's really, really high rates of childhood poverty. So again, it made national headlines that Pendle was up there, and so again, that just reinforces the need to, the importance of this work. And I mean, yeah, children and young people have been identified as a key priority for Pendle because of our high rates of childhood poverty. And as I say, it's encouraging to hear all this fantastic work that's happening and recognising that there is lots of great work out there. But as Tracy said, it's just making sure everybody's linked and we're all aware of everything that is going on. And as Tracy said, you know, the partnership, what the partnership can do is, if those things, if particular things are identified as key challenges or obstacles in the work that we're all trying to do, then you know we can take them to the partnership, and then they could take a view and hopefully have some influence to hopefully open some of those obstacles and challenges for us.
Yeah. Fab. So unless anybody has anything else to say, has anybody got anything that they thought, oh, I should have said that? Or no, that'll be 10 minutes after we close this meeting. You do know that, don't you? You go, oh, I should have said that. Well, if you do, if you have one of those moments, don't worry about it. Whiz an email to our Lorna and we'll get it out there anyway. So it's like I said, Lorna's nothing else better to do. It just keeps her out of trouble. She loves me, really. So thank you, everybody. It's been really interesting, and I'm so glad to be back. It's really nice to see you all. And if I don't see you before, I'll see you at the funding fair on the 17th of May. So be there or be square, everyone. Thank you very much. Have a lovely rest of your afternoon. Take care.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.